Hi, this is the Chronicles of Apple from the Apple of My Eye, and I was going over the black and white deception. The black and white human classification is one of the greatest deception to humankind because, like I said before, it is a way to divide and conquer as many people as possible. If you were to look, just look very organically, if you were to pull out pictures all over the world, you will see that having the lighter skin blue eye is a minority. It's a very minority, okay? However, it is a minority group that is being perpetuated by the enemy as being considered the elite, okay? When actually what it is it's not any different from many of the African American bloodline. It's similar. It just lost its pigmentation. So some of the genetic markers are gone for coloring, therefore you have a more lighter skinned people. But as you can see, having the big breasts, that's very African trait, the big butt, the big hips, those are very African trait. But actually many of these Africans too, the reason why people wanted them, the Freemason is really the Freemason that has been perpetuated around the world that is promoting this concept of black and white. And to show you that, you will see that the Freemason ground is always talking about, they always have this checkerboard like a chess, okay, chess thing there. That's very Freemason, okay. You will see many Illuminati slaves sporting this black and white checkerboard. And that is to actually, and also the people are being classified as black or white. If you were to look in the Bible, people are never considered black or white. When God talks about the kind of people, he was largely, the biblical stance is always focusing on the faith of the people. You are considered different people if you don't have the same faith. It is not talking about the color of your skin, because the color of your skin is just part of your genetic marker being kept or being lost. So it is completely a joke to say that everybody with whiter nose and darker skin or curly hair all came from Africa. This is not true. You will see a lot of Asian people, and I should show you some picture. Lots of Asian people that are actually darker skin. Indian. Okay. But you see, this is like a Anglo-Saxon type feature. Her face. If you gave her a blonde hair and red lipstick and you bleach her face and give her blue contact lenses, she'll pass for a European. Okay, Beyonce is another one. She does not look black. What's black about this, okay? Her features are very typical European almost. Okay, she's just, when she puts her hair blonde, what does she look like? She doesn't look too African at all. And this idea that every African is dark skinned, that is a joke. It just so happened that it's a hot place and people with darker skin does better in this very hot environment, because if you have too much sunlight and you're lighter skinned, you're going to end up with skin cancer, which is why being lighter skin is actually it's a deletion of the melanin coating. So to make eyes look blue is because you take away the pigment. So you will see some babies when they're born, they look like they're blue-eyed because they're not exposed to sunlight yet. And then eventually the pigmentation starts to get activated and the kid will now have brown eyes or darker colored, it could be green or whatever, but it will have to show some more color over time. And just to give you an example that African trait doesn't necessarily mean you can't have blue eyes. Well, here's one. Okay, she's not the only one. Look online. You'll see a lot of even blonde Africans, blonde Asians. And here, this is a Maori. Her features could pass for a European if I give her blonde hair, right? And blue eyes. She's got freckles. Look at that. Where do you think those freckles came from? Those redhead people with freckles? They have, and they have curly hair too, right? That curly hair came from the darker skinned ancestors of the Irish people. It just so happened when you are in a colder country, you can live there a little bit more because you're less likely to get skin cancer. Whereas, so it's a separation, and these people that are lighter skin identified with one another, and they started having children. Now they lost their alleles for genetic marker for melatonin, for melanin, so all their kids are going to be lighter, and they will also wrinkle faster because they don't have collagen on their skin. Having lost that pigmentation, one thing that it does do is it reduces the skin coloration, and it reduces the skin tone, the strength of the skin. Now, everybody's a human being, so you will see that the big breast, all those things, the big breast and the big butt, that came from the people that are the dark-skinned ancestors. Asians lost that. Okay, so Asians have a little bit darker skin, but we've lost the big butt and the big hips. Okay, so I'm an exemption. I don't have small butt. Now these here, they are not Africans. These are Filipino ancestors that have lived in the Philippines for very, very long. Okay, that's the ancestors looking like. You can see the Asian body, right? But you could see the hair is very curly. You could just look online. Those are the Aitas. They still look like that today. Now, Indian, again, look at this. Very dark skin. It just so happened that this group of people, after they came off the boat from Noah's Ark, they are mixed with people that have dark skin coloring, and they got darker. If this person marries a blonde, blue-eyed woman, they're going to have kids that are going to look more like Asian or Puerto Rican. But you see, very straight hair, right? Very straight hair. So being dark-skinned does not mean you all came from Africa. Same. Look at this. European features. Blonde. Blonde-looking Australians. I think these might be the Aborigines. Many of them are having these light hair. Asian-looking African. European-looking African. Oh, looking like Latino. Whoops, not a Latino. Italian-looking girl. Whoops, mixed-looking girl. Oh, what is that platinum blonde doing on this Asian man? Naturally occurring blondes, okay? Once this person mate with another person with the same similar lighter skin tone, you're never going to have the pigment. They don't end up looking dark skinned. They won't. They're going to produce children that looks like this as well, because you've lost the gene. You marry somebody with color and you're going to have color on your kids again. So that's how simple it is. Now, the Freemasonry, promoting this black and white idea for people, they are part of the ancient mystery religion. The ancient mystery religion involves a lot of Marxist ideology. They came from that to Kabbalah, to Gnosticism, then the Freemasonry, Rosicrucian, okay? And then down at the bottom, you will see a more like different kinds of cults, and these are the New Age. Okay, so these oneness, this Pentecostal oneness, they're also part of it. So you will see these quote-unquote Christian, and they're sucking in a lot of Jesus-believing people in their cults and making them perform all kinds of miracles that's not coming from God, but it's coming from the devil. So you have to really be careful because, okay, so this is Black Masonic. Now why? Why did the Masons want Black Masons? Why did the Freemasonry want the Black Masons? And the Black Masons been in existence since 1700s. Okay, that is because the enemy wants to suck in as many of the people that are charismatic. That is, some of these people, these Black Masons, came from the Kohanim bloodline. I can guarantee you. If they were to check their bloodline, they'll discover something very different. Beyonce channeling in demons is because they wanted to promote the duality. They wanted to promote the black power, and that black power is meant to destroy the quote-unquote white race, which is not really a race. We're all one species, which is why we can have children with one another, whatever the skin color is. When God is talking about do not be mixed with other people, he was talking about fate. It has nothing to do with your skin color. God knows that he gave us all different skin tones. Okay, God wants variety. He doesn't want to just have boring looking people. So, big question. Are there any black people mentioned in the Bible? And it says, yeah, there were darker skinned people mentioned in the Bible, but God never classified people as being black or white. That is a big insult, okay? Big insult unto God. Kohanim, a lot of the dark-skinned Kohanim coming from the line of Aaron have curly hair, darker skin, okay? This is the stuff that the Freemason does not want you to know. So they want to classify African, quote-unquote, dark-skinned people as being coming from Africa. That's not really true. If anything, a lot of these darker-skinned people came from Turkey because of Noah's Ark. So the very first people, Adam, okay, Adam actually means red. Adam in Hebrew means red. Also, so the main concept of these Freemasonry is to suck in as many Jews and African or darker skinned people, and to obliterate the concept of the true line of the Kohanim. And it wants dark-skinned people to fight off the lighter-skinned people, and the lighter-skinned people to fight off the dark-skinned people. These people that are pigmented are not all just from one family. That's not really true. They just have the genetic marker for pigments. And these people are being made to be considered, like they're saying Russians and Polish and American lighter-skinned people and blue-eyed are all the same people. They are not. They're different cultures, okay? Same thing here. Like all the darker-skinned Asians, the darker-skinned Africans, the darker-skinned are being considered one people. And actually, truth of the matter is there is one race. If you can have children with a black or white or whatever, all human beings, okay, you can produce offspring. You're technically of the same race, okay? You just have different genetic predispositions showing up. So bear that in mind, because the devil wants all human beings to kill one another. That is the bottom line. Freemasonry, color means something. Obviously, dark is, white is considered the beginning, more pure. The dark or black is considered the underworld or death. Okay. Now, Freemasonry, they also have a lot of fake Zionists. Why I say fake Zionists is because if you were to type in the word Zion, it is regards to Jerusalem, which is where Jesus was crucified. That is where Isaac was being offered in that same mountain. And it means fortification. And Zion is like God's promise unto people for the redemption of people's sin. So what Freemasonry did is that they tried to act like they are Zionists by sucking in so many Jewish people and many of the Kohanim bloodline. And by so doing that, they can now say it's trying to destroy people. It's using God's people to destroy the doctrine and the teaching from the Bible. And so the bottom line here is we need to pray for more of the Kohanim bloodline to go back to Israel. And we need to pray for the fortification of many Jews and the Kohanim. So there are Jews darker skin to the lightest skin, for them to remember God's promise. So I will conclude right here. Thank you. God bless.